Hey everyone, welcome to Reddit Readout. Today we are checking out Rules Horror. Story 1. Thanks for looking after Kirby. A place to share scary stories which contain a set of rules to follow. Hey there. Thanks for looking after Kirby. She's a sweet dog, really, but there's a few things you should know. Kirby is a rescue, we don't know her breed, but we think her last owners kept her as a guard dog. She's quite aggressive to strangers, but really loves music. If you play something classical on your phone on your way into the house, she'll warm up to you right away. Once you're in the house, make yourself at home. You're welcome to any food or drinks in the cupboards. However, you must announce out loud what you're taking. Kirby gets antsy, otherwise. Kirby gets fed at 6:06 p.m. and 6:06 am. The food must be placed on the floor at exactly those times. She's on a raw diet, the food is pre-packaged and in the fridge. Do not stay in the room while Kirby is eating. Instead, once you've placed the food on the floor, use the wait command. It'll only hold her for a few seconds. You have to run. Kirby likes watching TV with you on the sofa. If she starts growling, turn it off. If the TV goes to static, do not look at her, leave it on and walk slowly out of the room, make sure you face her. She won't follow you if you walk slowly. She has 2 lumps around the base of her neck. The vet is aware. It's best if you avoid that area altogether. No treats. She's on a strict diet. Kirby doesn't wear a collar. If you see one, call the number on the tag and play classical music down the phone until the recipient hangs up. Balk is good. Do not look behind you at Kirby until the call ends. No matter where she was before the call, she will be behind you. Sometimes, Kirby makes noises that make it sound like she's talking, so cute. If she actually starts talking, do exactly what she says. She's a good dog, you can trust her. Kirby will sometimes want to sleep in the room with you. If she jumps on the bed, keep the light on, and don't fall asleep before she does. If she stays on the floor, turn the lights off, and try not to listen to whatever she is gnawing on. It may plead for help. Ignore it. Let her out for a pee after breakfast. It is to be after, or she'll assume her breakfast is the biggest chunk of meat in the house. It's worth checking how much you weigh. If a man at the door claims to be Kirby's old owner, give him some money and he will leave. It doesn't matter how much, as long as it's in coins. Don't walk Kirby past the graveyard or over the river. Also avoid the dog park as she's slightly reactive. We hope you have a nice time with our baby. Feel free to help yourself to anything in the fridge, and remember, she's just a big baby at heart. Story 2. In case you are lost and got taken to the workhouse. A place to share scary stories which contain a set of rules to follow. Previous first. Welcome to the Wonders Factory. We are happy to offer you a shelter and free you from your needs such as hunger and tiredness. You are safe. Nothing and no one can make its way there without our permission. Don't leave the Wonders Factory facilities when it's raining. You may be used to acid or basic rains in other worlds, but the outside doesn't digest you on chemical level. Don't leave the Wonders Factory facilities when outside is too quiet. It listens. Don't leave the Wonders Factory facilities when the day moon is visible. Don't leave the Wonders Factory facilities on Sundays for first 318 years. Don't let the Wonders Factory fall apart. There is nothing left in our world but the Wonders Factory. Be available whenever your manager needs you. You may make her upset. If your manager isn't showing up for too long, pray for your worth. We have to be monsters so we won't kill you. Don't overwhelm your manager with complaints. You like the opportunity to ever have friends, right? Don't overuse our obligation to deliver prayers. We don't have to deliver them all when there is too many. Do as your manager says to prevent outside influence. We won't have a second chance to get stuck in its throat like that. If you mention signs of cognitive decay, inform your manager. You'll receive a treat if you are the first one to report that person's decay. Don't upset your manager. She felt worse than it's possible in worlds that still have skies. We can make you feel worse than it's possible in worlds that still have skies. In case of facility quakes, hold on to a spike of the anchor. If you failed to follow the rules or disturbed factory stability, then pray. It's better to inform your deities about the risk you put your world to. If you stay out of trouble for 2000 years, you can fill quitting form. We won't let you die by any means. Story 3. Sludge. Oh, pretty short. A place to share scary stories which contain a set of rules to follow. You are watching TV when a PSA starts playing. The person inside the video states the following. Hello, citizen. It has come to the government's attention that there is an outbreak of strange sludge being found across the United States. Remain calm, we are working to get this situation sorted out. In the meantime, we here at APS, Anomalous Protective Services, have worked out a few rules to keep yourself safe. Please refrain from contact with sludge. This is vital because the sludge is of unknown origin and will liquefy your body in the matter of 3.1 seconds upon contact. Please do not put objects into the sludge. Giving the sludge sacrifices will only draw the hive mind closer to your brain. Do not put objects inside the sludge or any creatures the sludge may extrude. Please call 911 if you see sludge anywhere. If you see sludge anywhere, call 911 and say SDE, standing for Sludge Department Emergency, and answer the operator's questions. Remain calm. The sludge may break off into tiny slugs that leach off any moderately sized object it can find. That includes you. Do not go near the slugs under any circumstances. If it latches onto an object, simply ignore it and take the chance to run. A pack is likely coming. Thank you for your understanding. Please follow these precautions and stay safe. That was strange. You get up and walk over to your kitchen, but when you look down, there are about 40 leeches holding onto your leg. You pass out. Story 4. Rules for Reincarnation Pokemon. A place to share scary stories which contain a set of rules to follow. Rules for Reincarnation. Hello. And welcome to the system of reincarnation. You will be reincarnated into a world of your choosing. 1. Pokemon. 2. Fallout. 3. Skyrim. 4. Minecraft. Etc. You have chosen Pokemon. And as per the rules, I will have to explain something to you. World protection is not included in this pack, so you are vulnerable to the dark spirits that would normally not be able to touch you, and the world you picked will try to scare you out and possibly murder you as it is rejecting your presence. We are not responsible for injuries during this period of time. So, here are some rules to keep you safe and sound. Basic rules. Rule 1. If for any reason the sky turns blood red and rains, chant 3 times Ignitus Vartos Cadver. This will keep the world at bay to send creatures to you. And make sure to close your eyes while chanting, as the creatures that you will be sending back can be visible during the chanting process, and if it is seen, let's just say it won't be pleasant for your mind. Rule 2. If any of your companions for any reason at any time has a red pupil and no shadow, and a feeling of fear around them, immediately shoot and burn them. Rule 3. Never talk to a guy with no shadow and with a British accent and with a black cloak for any reason. Personalist rules. Rule 4. It is essential for you to immediately try to capture a shadow-type Pokemon, preferably a Mimikyu. These Pokemon will allow you to detect possessed Pokemon and allow you to run. They are the only types safe and generally don't get influenced by the world. Just make sure the one you're trying to capture isn't an illusion made by the world. Trainers cannot be possessed by the world and are generally safe, but they will generally ignore you as the world will try to silence you by lowering the sounds and annoying you, just to make sure you will leave. Rule 5. This world is more unique than the other ones. It can make Pokemon see no reason and attack you no matter what. Shadow types appear to be immune to this phenomenon, so it is generally the more safe route. Just make sure you hide, even legendaries is something to fear. But fret not. We have placed shields in cities/towns so possessed or frenzy Pokémon cannot enter. And it being cheaper than making the world stop rejecting you, and also we lost a lot of reincarnated people due to this mistake. Rule 6. You might be wondering, so I can only use shadow types? Why should I go then if I could only use those? Well, to that we answer. We will give you starter Pokémon immune to these. But be warned, if you capture other Pokémon, make sure they are put through the barrier installment part. Rule 7. If a strange man says, "Krr," you better run or else. Even we cannot save you from eternal pain. Rule 8. Be wary of shadows, as there may be a chance of bad luck. There's a 1 in a billion chance. You piqued the interest of one of them. Should you get their interest, you will be required to shout. It doesn't matter what, just shout, they are sensitive in the ears. And that is AA. Run, I don't know how long I can last stuck in this world. Run while you can. It's trap. RR Rule 9. If you see people wearing yellow robes and appears to be faceless, you should avoid them at all cost. If you see them, they are not after you and their target is somebody else. They will be docile as long as you don't disturb them. Rule 10. Do not shout "I challenge thee" in December 31st 11:50-59 p.m. or you would risk spending the 13th, yes 13th, it somehow adds a month of the year alone. Rule 11. Don't touch the present that somehow arrives in July 21st. We do not know how it got there, but it appears to disappear the next day. Anyways, we hope you enjoy your reincarnation. And remember, we are not legally reliable for any soul/mind injuries. As stated by the law. The regulations and guidelines are here, just make sure to follow them to live. And remember to have fun with these silly yet adorable creatures. The Black Mask Corp. The end. Story 5. Experiment R3-5. A place to share scary stories which contain a set of rules to follow. If you have been sent this letter via email, text message, mail, or any other method, that would mean that you have been selected at random for an experiment that will occur on April 23, 24. Please read this thoroughly, as if you don't, you will be unlikely to survive. Upon arriving to the location of the experiment, you and 25 other subjects will receive tools and/or weaponry of all sorts. Please note that there are only a few specific types of objects you will be given or find around the location. If you find or are given something that is not on this list, it is to not be taken and returned to staff. Firearms that are not loaded, weapons that feel hollow, weapons that have any vibrations to them. Any of these are likely not an actual weapon. Do not attack staff, but with some exceptions. If the staff member does not have any identification, they are not actual staff. If a member of staff is threatening you, or asking you to come with them to a private location without any reason why, they are not staff. If the staff member is wearing a uniform that is not like other staff, they are not staff. All of the following should be attacked, or fled from. Anything not listed here is not a rule. You can do anything you desire to survive, as this experiment is related to organisms discovered by the US government. We are unsure of how most of them act or work, so you have been chosen to discover this. You may use any method to survive the experiment, whether it be killing, running, or hiding to survive. Do not attempt to escape the experiment. It is pointless to attempt escape, as whatever you do will likely just let something know where you are, and none of the things in the area are your friends. No one is there to save you. You are alone, exactly the way you were brought into this experiment. If you attack staff, you will be killed on sight. They are there to make sure everything goes correctly. If a staff member does something they shouldn't to you, they will be dealt with and punished accordingly. Remember Rule 2, if it applies to that, you are entirely permitted to do whatever you think is necessary. Attempting to avoid being brought to the experiment will likely result in you being forcefully brought to it, imprisoned, or something other. It is important you do this, so that we know how to stop whatever we put in there. We are quite sure nothing inside of the experiment has any form of escape method, though as I mentioned, we are sure, not 100% though. Refrain from attempting to directly terminate the things within. We do not know what would happen, if they would die or if something else. Besides, we need to study them either way. You are 100% allowed to bring your own weaponry to the experiment, though there is a chance some guards may take it away if they believe it is too dangerous, or if it could be used to escape. The identification that this experiment has is to signify the type of experiment, how many things are within the experiment, and how many times it has been tried. Pay attention to this, as this may give you an idea of what might be in there with you. The following experiment type is reality manipulation. Note that this is contained, and that they are unable to escape with this method. There are only that many in there with you. Something is wrong if there is more. If there's more, you should also be given a device to communicate with staff members if you suspect of something wrong. Do not try to guilt trip them into freeing you, it won't work. This is your punishment for what you did. This rule is to let you know beforehand that one of the things inside here will try manipulating you. Don't listen to her. Don't listen to her, man. The experiment will last for 2 hours. You will be notified of the time that has passed. Upon there being 5 minutes left, you must report to the entrance gate. A wall of decent size will be raised in order to prevent anything from getting out. There are only 26 people in this experiment. If more have been noticed, the staff will not notice them. Everyone in the experiment has a letter of the alphabet on them to signify they're in the experiment. Any extra people will either have a duplicate or something that is not a letter. We cannot tell you if they are safe or not. Don't listen to her. She wants to give you the same fate I was forced to suffer. Please, don't listen to her, she'll make you false promises. Don't end up like me. Please report any issues with this message. This entire is copied and pasted, and reviewed previously, so any issues are to be reported in a reply to this. Successfully making it through the experiment will result in you being given a reward for your troubles. If you are interested in applying to assist with future experiments or interested in researching anomalies in our world, you may apply afterwards. If you want to rescue him, you'll listen to me. He's still there, alive. Listening to that voice. He's on his way to his third obstacle. It's pointless though, he won't survive unless you help him. After all, you want to save him, don't you, Rose? That's all for today. Please don't forget to like and subscribe.